So if I was to plan a trip, I would plan a trip around the distances between the courses themselves. Step one. So a good friend of mine, Jed Sprague, or Sprague, I always joke about that, from California, he treated me to Harding Park and Cork Park, and I was over there. He planned a trip with a tour operator, and it was very golf intense, travel intense. I think he did the no laying up trip, right, which is like 36 a day for 4 days straight. And some Americans do that, and bring the blisties and the blister bandages and whatever. And that's one way to do it. Intense, bang, bang. I'd prefer, I'm doing that up north, right? So I'm planning a trip. I've never played any golf in Northern Ireland. I live in a county, so I'm like an hour and a half's drive away from it, so it's not very far at all to get to the first course. And I do a lot of driving anyway, for work and family reasons, up and down the country a bit. So like a 1.5 hour drive, 2 hour drive, to me, it's like a trip to the shops at this stage, right? So like for me, I planned it out based off driving. So there's 2 itineraries, there's 3 main itineraries in Ireland. Okay, southwest, northwest, northeast. Southwest, Lahinch, Doonbeg, Ballybunion by 2, Adair, maybe, financially maybe. Absolutely a maybe if you can get there, money wise, definitely worth the trip. You've Tralee, Dukes, Waterville, Old Head, and a couple of gems in between, right? But you also have maybe an hour's driving each day, and that's doable, right? That's like the most famous track. The infrastructure is there, the pubs are there, most of the courses are walking distance to the village, if not in the village, right? And backdrops to a couple of beer gardens and a couple of them. Northwest, which I really wanted to do, was Connemara, Cairn, Enniscrone, Ross's Point, which is Sligo Golf Club, and then going up to Donegal, Merva, Rossapenna has 3 courses, and a Doak is one of them, Tom Doak is one of them, and Ballyliffin. And nearly all of them have had Irish Opens at one stage or another. But for me, the Northwest one was just, I only have I have a 4-day hall pass from the wife. Like, a 4-day hall pass.
Not a lot of time.
From the wife to go play golf. So it's like, the driving for me for that trip in 4 days, yes, you could do it all, but you'd be f***ing knackered. It'd be a 2-hour drive to the first course, a 2-hour drive to the second, an hour and 45 to the third. Then you're okay for like a day and a half. Then a 3-hour drive to play 3 courses. With all the driving and the amount of courses, not doable in 4 days. Doable in like 8. So like for a trip from America, absolutely doable. Bake yourself in Sligo, spin out an hour, play 1, spin out 40 minutes, play 1, Merva, play 1, then go up to Rossapenna for 3 more days and play the rest. Totally doable, but not for me on a 4-day hall pass. 4-day hall pass for me, perfect job, northeast. I'm skipping past 2 courses on the way up because they're within an hour of my home anyway, so I'm skipping them. So I'm skipping Royal, I'm skipping Loud, and I'm skipping, I played Laytown and Bettytown a couple of weeks ago, so I don't have to skip it. Step 1, also Glass. 40 minutes back to play Royal County Down. Day 1 done. Drive an hour to Port Rush. Drive an hour and a half. Play Port Rush. Play Port Stewart. They're 50 minutes apart. Day 2. Drive half an hour. Castle Rock. Day 3. Up to Ballyliffin. Hour and a half. Day 3. And play the second Ballyliffin the morning of Day 4. And drive 6 hours home. Totally doable, right? And get all the restaurants and the bars and the coffee shops and whatever in between. That's doable. If you only have 7 days to get to Ireland and get home, that's the trick.
Like you said, I see a lot of people that do these long drives. They play 36 holes and they're playing golf and they're just driving, and I feel like they're not getting the full Irish experience. Picture. Experiencing the food and the beverage, and I mean that's a big part of it for me. Is that when I travel, I like to eat the local food. I like to drink the local drink and really take the culture in. Absolutely,
and I think Matt Adams described it very well when I spoke with him. Was always have a culture day. Play golf, get take more intensity. Play golf for 2 days, have a culture day. Then go play golf for 2 days, have a culture day, and play one last course and go home. So he maps it out quite well. But like that, take it easy. Play a course, maybe 2 courses, because your rest day the day after, or a culture day. And a culture day, Matt Adams' sense might be go visit a castle or go visit a beach and go surfing. In mine, it's like actually go to the pub at 11 as opposed to 8 p.m. or 11 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. You might need more recovery time from the culture day than the golf.
You know, especially if you're up around Port Rush.
Yeah, your recovery is walking the courses.
Yeah. If you're up around Port Rush, there's a certain distillery up there that you could get lost in, that I plan to maybe visit and get lost in. But hopefully they're open late that day.
What's that place called?
It is Bushmills. Bushmills is up past Port Rush there, yeah.